Hey everybody, I know we're a minute early, but I saw the crowd was gathering, so to speak, so I figured let me go ahead and jump right in. I know it's been a little while, a lot going on, and part of it too, I was kind of like, oh, this is going to be show number 100. I got to do something like really special, and I had a couple ideas that were like bouncing around in my head, and just a few other things. I was like, yeah, I could do this, and then it's like, if I keep saying I have to do something big, I have to do something special. First of all, it's not going to get done because the extra funds to do that are just not there. That's the reality of it. And second, I feel like I just keep building it up and up and up. So it's bigger than it needs to be, at least in my mind. It's kind of like when you turn 30. You freak out at some point in your 20s usually. And when you hit 30, you realize it's just really no big deal. Uh, but I thank everybody for their patience, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am joined by my little guy who is quiet at the moment. We had a little meltdown not too long ago. Enjoying his milk, but not for much longer. And let's see, everybody else is still sleeping, but I'm probably going to wake them up because I'm projecting my voice. Las Cruz is here before everybody else again. Other Phil, thank you, sir. If you haven't done so already, be sure to check out Phil's Treehouse tomorrow, 4 p.m. He has this new sorting show that I do want to check out. I might have to change up some of my YouTube habits because usually I try to leave one day on the weekend for no YouTube. But now with Brian moving, and then there's a lot of shows I miss on Sundays I'd like to see, I might have to rethink that strategy. Trev, good morning to you, sir. Trev, the shipping guru, one of the ka. Wellbore, how are you, sir? Let's see what else we got here. Got to go outside. Okay. See how it is. The Mr., the Mrs., and the Littles. That should, yeah, I could see that. Uncanny D-Man. David. David's been doing some great stuff lately. He keeps changing his screen name, so I keep losing track. You're done with that, pal? Do you want more? More? Are you going to let me have a show, or are you going to, do you want to run around? What do you want to do? I'm going to have to take him out for a second. Bear with me here. Okay. I'm going to put you down. Yeah, you throw your blocks on the ground. All right, pal. Hold on. Wave hi, everybody. Just wave. Okay. Go get your cars. We'll play cars. Okay. All right. As long as he's quiet, I'm happy. And I actually have a package to open from David downstairs. We'll be doing that on an unboxing at some point. Three Good Nerds, how are you? Three Good Nerds, I have something I'm working on for you, hopefully by May at this point. Same for Trev, I should say. At work, but trying to pay attention when customers will let me. Just tell them to leave. You don't need customers. Come on. Brian LCS, the Godfather, has some big things going on, moving his show to Sunday. I thought about maybe trying to move my show up. I don't know that that's going to work with my son because that's when he's been eating lately. But we should see. And I have to try to make some time to catch up to Brian on Sundays. He also was talking about a comic he's launching soon, so I'll be eagerly awaiting that. 100, yes. Mike Evil, also from the Cobb. Be sure to check me out with Trev, Namen, Norenrad, whatever he's going by now, and Steve the Voice White. Next Saturday night, we're going to be talking about the next chapter of The Dark Tower. Great book. My first time reading it, so it's definitely an interesting discussion. It almost kind of feels like college, to be honest with you. Neil, how are you, sir? I've been needing to rest a little bit longer as of late, so I've been missing Fanboy Prime and Neil's showdowns Saturday mornings. I don't even know what time you guys are starting now. I think like 8 a.m. Eastern time. But yeah, I did catch the tail end this week. I have to try to do better and get more next week. Let's see who else we got. Las Cruces, hello again. Trav, I'm already disappointed. Samesies. It's a joke. The quartet, yes. I'm still learning. Yeah, Mike is our Roland, or is he? I don't know. Trev is new to the book too, so I have a feeling that some things are going to go down that maybe Roland is not the guy you want to be, but that's a whole nother discussion that you could be here next Saturday night for. Let's see. Everybody saying hello. Yeah, that's my feeling. Joffrey, how are you? And thank you, sir. Yes, so we need some Stiltastic on this walk. Yes, I'll be on there. I thought you meant like when I go outside and do. Last summer we were doing some walking videos. We want to do more walking videos. We want to do more walking, period. The weather has not been very cooperative as of late. Hopefully that'll turn around soon. And we've got 2 kids. We want to get out into the air here. Don't say anything else. But yeah, I mean, like, look, the bad guys don't always know that they're the bad guys. I remember reading in college, I think it was How to Win, it might have been high school, How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And that's like the opening chapter is Al Capone never considered himself to be a bad guy, but there you go. So I should say this. Now that we're kind of settling in a little bit here too. Let me do this. I'm going to adjust my tripod now that my son is sitting down on the ground because that, I don't know, that was bothering me. I guess it's my OCD jumping in. Food for thought. I get you. Yeah, so now that we're settled in, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with this show. I do want to keep it going. But, you know, as I've been saying lately, my priorities have been changing. I've had more of a focus on things outside of comics. I'm still reading comics, but part of that, too, is that I noticed that the format I was doing, where it's like, this is what I bought. This is what I read. This is, you know, what I'm looking forward to. It's a formula that a lot of people use, and it's nothing against that. It's just I want to try to do something different. I don't know what the answer to that is yet. But one thing I think I do want to try to do, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you may remember I used to have a second live show I would do during the week called 7-Minute Stories. I kind of got away from that just because, especially after my son was born, you know, when I do live streams and when I appear on live streams, it gets a little tough, especially on my wife. Durs is here. How are you, Durs? Working hard, I hope. So that's why even now too is if I'm going to be on a live stream at night, especially during the week, if it's anytime before 9 o'clock, I have to clear it with my wife, make sure she's okay with it, make sure that we have dinner nice and early, and that my son is on his way to going to bed at that point. And it's a lot to put on her, so that's why I kind of hadn't done it in a while. There were some people I said, hey, I could do 9 p.m. Like, that's way too late. So what I might be starting to do, I might be returning to 7-Minute Stories, but as a segment during this show, and maybe just have it like once a month or once every other week. So if you don't know what that is, I know I started talking about it. I basically invite a member of the community on, and you tell us your comic book collecting origin, as it would be, in 7 minutes or less. I have a timer. I made sure the timer is annoyingly loud, and we go from there. You know, see if you can tell your story. And some people have either said it's surprisingly easy or surprisingly hard. I haven't gotten anybody in between yet, but it's It's a lot of information to fit in within 7 minutes in some cases. I'll say this. Matt Woods was one of the first ones I did, and I did not expect Matt Woods to have it done in 7 minutes, and I was shocked how quickly he did his, because Matt is a guy who likes to palaver, which is a good thing. We love Matt Woods. Matt Woods, everybody, see. So if you're interested in being on 7 Minute Stories, shout me out. Shoot me a DM. We'll work it out. I'd like to start it as early as next week, but we'll see who bites. Durs has been on it before. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Brian. I think the last one I had was Comics by the Bay. Yeah, go back. I have them saved to a playlist again. I just haven't done one in a while. Yeah, so I saw Matt, excuse me, Mike Evil just mentioned X-Men 97. I've been enjoying the series. You know, we are doing a review every 2 episodes or not. My wife is not an X-Men fan, but I think for the most part she's been kind of surprised. I can't say that she's a fan, but you be the judge of that. Go back and look in the playlist for our X-Men 97 discussions as I'm watching my son play with our couch. He's got a big box of toys here, but he just wants to play with the couch cushions. Hey, pal, what's up? What would you like? Oh, you got your zoo truck? Okay. I could play with you. It's zoo truck time. Zoo truck. Okay, watch out. Ready? Look out. 1, 2, 3. Go! Let's see. What else? Oh, I should also mention that I did finally catch up on all of the comments, so I do have the entries to put in for our Road to 1K giveaway. I have not put them in the box yet because I just wrote them all out. I have 5 sheets of paper here with names written on them. So we're getting there. I'll give you an update shortly. What's up, bud? It's the thing with toddlers. Sometimes he just starts staring out and I'm like, do you see something that I don't see? Is anybody there? My camera's not going off, so I think we're okay. Anybody there, buddy? No? Okay. So yeah, I'll show you an update. And it had been a while since I updated this. I just realized. Oh, okay. Can you hold this for me? Can you hold the zoo truck? Thank you. Hold on, I just have to show this picture to everybody. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. 3 in a row. Okay, I had a picture up and I lost it. Here we go. So as of 4/19 yesterday, we are at 343 subscribers. Ooh. I'll show you my official chart here. So, I mean, considering I started this 4 months ago at 316, I mean, it's a good rise. Again, 1K is the magic number to win a big box of comics. Last time I threw a trade paperback in there. I do have more stuff to throw in there as well. Mike, we don't joke about that in here. I don't know if I told you we did have an issue at one point with something. And we kind of keep a lot of that discussion outside of the house for that reason. Knock on wood, we are well protected and we intend on staying that way. So, trying to think. I did actually get to read some comics. I read Tinian's Tiny Onions. Oh, you got the big truck now? Okay. Dracula. I thought it was good, but not great. I thought it was interesting that the story is told from Renfield's point of view. The way Dracula himself is treated was a little disappointing to me. The real winner here is not the writing, though. The art in it, it is absolutely incredible. I can't remember the artist's name. I want to say something like Stuart Simmons. But I will say this: if you caught the 10, was it the 10-1-1? Yeah, with Marco from Where'd You Get That? Was it? No, from that's not from Where'd You Get? Yeah, from Where'd You Get That? This past week on Gary B's channel, which by the way was a great episode. Cliff was highly, highly, highly entertaining. If you caught that, one of the items he did show off, what Marco showed off, was a original sketch, I think, by the artist, and it looks incredible. I believe it was actually related to his Dracula story as well. But I did think it was unique that I feel like they included more Renfield in that story than I've seen in past iterations of Dracula. I did also read digitally, finally, the final issue of X-Men Red. X-Men Red has been a Krakoan Age series that I've liked a lot. Sorry, pal. To me, it's been kind of just like a rougher side of the X-Men story. The last couple issues, they were wrapping it up in a big civil war. I don't like how it ended. It felt very kind of rushed to me. And it kind of left it a little... It was kind of like one of those cheap endings where the enemy's defeated, but are they really type of thing. Which I know it's comics, you're going to run into that, but I don't know. I felt like it could have been done a little bit better. I have not read any of the Rise of X, I don't know what they're calling it at this point yet. I've missed the LCS in probably 2 months. But I've called and I keep calling like, hey, is everything okay? I'm not bankrupting you by not coming in, and everything's okay on that end. So hopefully I'll be getting over there next week. I definitely will not be going over there for Free Comic Book Day. It's just, I try to avoid it. I thought about it because we are having a good sale, but things are tight. Don't think I need to take advantage of a sale. I'm in a position to take care of that of a sale at this point. So I'm trying to think what else. Yeah. Oh, going back to X-Men '97. I was kind of laughing because as I was going through my past videos to find out, who gets credits and whatnot for our contest, because we talked a lot about woke culture and people were pissed about, oh, the Marvels is woke. It's not. And then right before X-Men '97 premiered, we were hearing a lot of the same thing. Oh, I know somebody who saw an early cut and said it's woke and this and that. And oh, my beautiful wife just walked in. Hi, honey. Everybody says hello. I don't know if you heard, he lost his shit before. Nah. Yeah, like I have a lot. I didn't hear nothing. I have a lot of cleaning up to do right in this area here. Yeah, and I think the show has been so good that a lot of these people who were saying, oh, it's going to be woke garbage, have kind of been silenced. At least they're quieter on this end. They're, I don't know, too busy talking about something else. And I don't know. Again, it just kind of makes me laugh because you don't need to talk like, you don't need to be like one way or the other. No. I don't know. I see it as, okay, this is somebody trying to get pigeonholed into an us versus them conversation again. And when it's us versus them, everybody loses. That's the way I look at it. What else? Speaking of X-Men, I know Marvel's been talking more and more about their upcoming plans for the post-Krakoan Age. I can honestly tell you I have not decided what or if I'm picking up after Krakoa is over. Ideally, I like, I want to stay with the Wolverine series. They haven't announced the creative team yet. I like the sound of Jed McKay's series, although Stegman is not an artist I am really into. I'll give it a whirl. I like I'm interested in checking out Gail Simone's X-Men series. I in general, like her writing. I think she'll be a good fit. Eve, Ewings. Eve is hit and miss for me personally. I know that the premise for hers, I think that's handling a team out of Chicago with Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. I might check out the first issue. I don't foresee myself sticking with it. I'll explain it a bit. My wife was just asking me why this pot moved. And it's a pan. It's not a pot isn't 420.
It's a square pan.
Square pan, okay. SpongeBob square pan. Let's see. Who was I saying? Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm not checking out X-Force. I'll read it digitally, if anything. I do want to check out Phoenix, because I like Stephanie Phillips' work. I think she's done a great job with X-Men related characters in the past. So I am looking forward to that. The others they haven't really talked about too much. NYX seems like a good premise, but it might be something I skipped. You know, it depends on like everything cost and whatnot. But yeah, I mean that's as far as I'm invested. I definitely want to keep up with the regular X-Men series and the Wolverine series, just because I've been collecting them forever. Thank you. Trying to think, what else? Like I said, we've been kind of quiet here, just kind of focusing on things that we need to focus on. Yeah, I mean, I know that Marvel's also pushing Blood Hunt big time, and I'm definitely not jumping into it. Some of the one-shots look interesting, but I'm got no urge to pick up a big crossover, let alone like a 60-part crossover, almost a 60-part.
Song, one shot. One shot, isn't that a song?
I don't know.
One shot.
DC, to be honest, I don't even know what's going on with DC at this point. I've been reading digitally, but I have been behind on my DC. Yeah. Is Absolute Power coming back, Trev? I used to like that, but I didn't hear about that. Ghost Machine, I'm on the fence with. I should have a crossovers waiting for me in my LCS. I've been liking Geiger. I've been liking the Junkyard Joe. Redcoat, which everybody seems to be down on, is one that I'm interested in. Rook, which I know everybody's been talking about, I have kind of been a bit ambivalent about. To be honest with you, I wasn't that impressed with the Rook story in that Ghost Machine one shot they put out a couple months ago. At this point, it kind of distracted me because with all the animals and everything, it kind of reminded me of Power Rangers. So I'll check out the first issue. You know, I'm optimistic that it'll be good, but we'll see. Yeah, Trev, what is... Oh, that's the DC event. What is it about? Fill me in, because I don't know. Yeah, there are a lot more indies that I'm interested in. The problem is that I think just because I'm more... What's that, honey? I'm more dialed into Marvel and DC that I'm more aware generally of what's going on with them rather than the indies. Like, I feel like indies, I hear about them after everybody's talking about them. So it's like, okay, well, I have to read it in trade. And then either I forget about it or what it is. But, yeah, you know, that's kind of the reason I started subscribing to both the Marvel and the DC app, was so that, hey, I can read the Marvel and DC titles digitally. Sometimes they take a couple months to come out. And then make room for more kind of indie things. I do read indie comics regularly. I mean, look, you've seen I read Monstrous. I think I'm the only one regularly reading Monstrous. It's on YouTube at this point. I was kind of surprised because Indie Comics Review, Lorenzo and Marcus were going through their show the other night. And Lorenzo's like, Monstrous is 51 issues and I haven't heard of it. I was like, yeah, man, it's a great one. You know, at this point, though, if you want to get into it, get some trades. Absolute Power. Amanda Waller finally making her play. I mean, that's good to hear. Amanda Waller has been kind of the standout for me in terms of the DCU. I think she's been consistently one of the best characters, and she has, I think, as far as the DC Comics go, an underutilized character. So I'm glad to hear that. I'll look forward to reading that later, again digitally. Yeah, you know what it is? I think Future State was the thing that kind of soured me on a lot of DC stuff because, I mean, look, it's been a slow trickle for me. I went to, and again, it's just a lot of it has to do with the increased costs and whatnot. I went from reading, if you want to compare like 10 years ago, to every single Batman title, at least one or two Superman titles, and then probably a couple others in there to slowly, I think, post-COVID, when COVID started, I had whittled it down to, I think, just the the main Batman story, and what was it? Some of the Sandman universe stories, and then it just kind of went down to Batman, and now and Catwoman, which admittedly is a cover buy at this point. I was reading Wonder Woman at some point, but it just wasn't clicking enough for me. And then, now it's like, all right, anything DC, I'll be reading digitally. Every so often I'll pick up something on a whim, but that's just kind of how it is. And it kind of came to, after King's run with Batman, not after King's run, I'm sorry, after Tynion's run, when it was like, oh, okay, so they're just resetting everything. That's when I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I don't need to be reading Batman or more Batman. And I got like at least 2 or 3 long boxes downstairs filled with Batman comics, just Batman. I'm not even counting Nightwing or Catwoman, because I was reading all of those at one point. Just Batman, we're talking. And it's something that, I might be looking to trim down, or purge, I should say, in the future. I don't know yet. Let's see. What else is going on here? Well, her being gone, I mean. She was gone. She took over Earth 3 in the Future State. Oh, okay. I didn't read that. The Earth 2 and Earth 3 stuff I couldn't get into. But you know what it is with Future State? I think I just didn't understand it. And maybe I picked poorly because I read the Batman titles, and I wasn't picking up all the spots. I know that. I remember picking up a couple of the Superman ones, and then like Superman versus Imperious Lex. That was terrible, in my opinion. And I feel like I picked up 1 or 2 of the Green Lantern ones, but I really didn't like it. So it just didn't resonate with me. Yeah, at one point I was also reading all the Green Lanterns. I should say that too. And then after Jeff Johns left, I was like, this is the perfect point for me to jump off. She left right after Dawn of DC premiere. That I think I read. Was that a free one, Trev? But look, I do hear great things going on at DC. Don't get me wrong. It's just I haven't been reading it. Yeah, and I was reading... what's her face? I guess she's Wonder Girl now, the Brazilian Wonder Woman for a while. But let's see. It was kind of like what they did on the TV show. It was a timeline that could happen. Some did turn out to happen. Yeah. So what else? I was surprised to hear, by the way, that Valiant is making a comeback. I didn't know about it, honestly, until I was watching Bueller's show. Bueller is now one of the few shows that I could put on like with my son if I'm like on lunch or something like that. He just likes watching the covers. And then I saw Bueller was showing Britannia, and I was like, oh, I love Britannia. I didn't have time to add it to my LCS, so I don't think that they saved a copy for me, sadly. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm hoping to track that down, maybe through Midtown or something like that. Valiant was one I was really into their books when they did the relaunch, but then a couple things happened. Like I was getting Bloodshot, Britannia, and Ninjak. And also I went in and out with Shadow Man a couple of times. And then first, I think a lot of they seem to change up their creative teams more than Marvel. And when you did, again, it was like, okay, forget everything you just read because now this is what's going on. And that was a shame because Ninjak. I was trying to think which run was it. Do you remember, pal? That was before you were born, I think. Yeah. I forgot whose run it was, but it was, I think it was Higgins, I want to say. Because it was a writer that I typically don't really like or dislike, but it blew me away. And then when Gage took over, who Gage is a writer I generally like, it was like, this is okay. It's not great. Then my LCS, which had a different owner at the time, stopped stacking Valiant. And I was kind of pissed because it was like mid-story on a lot of things for me. So I kept complaining, like, hey, where's your Valiants? Well, nobody wants them. I was like, I want them. They're on my pulse. He's like, yeah, but I stopped ordering because nobody was asking for them. I was like, I'm asking you for them. So I never quite caught up with those Valiants. And my store has a different owner, better owner now, who, if I want something, I give him the heads up. I'm sure he does everything in his power to grab it. But if you're not familiar with Britannia, that's a book I recommend. Think of like Batman, but if he were in Roman times and wasn't a superhero. Basically, it was kind of touted as the world's first detective. But besides a good premise, and what's his name has written it. Peter.
Stop.
I can't think of the name. Anyway, DC writer. He did most of like the early Damian Wayne stories. Peter Milligan. He did a lot of historical research for these books, and he always backs up his stuff in the back of the issues. It's definitely an interesting read, and I'm definitely not selling it well enough. And now the whole family's here. I see my wife and my little girl and my son. Hey, girl. That's all right. She's busy. So what else? I mean, TV series wise, besides X-Men 96, yeah. Never been a pull to buy a Valiant since the 90s. Mike, I'm going to tell you something. Check out at least the last 2 volumes of Shadow Man. I know Andy Diggle did one of them, and it was really good. But it was the same thing. They kept resetting. Bloodshot, I enjoyed a lot, and then just kind of, I think Lemire was on it at one point. I could be wrong. You want your piano? Here you go. Piano time. You want to play a song? Go ahead. You do it. Mike, I feel like you would like that Shadow Man run. Like I said, Bloodshot after Lemire was gone, I feel like I picked up the run right after his. But then I think right around the time the movie was released, they had another team come on, and it just wasn't as good, in my opinion, at least. And I haven't seen that film yet. And I'm not in a rush to, but I kind of wanted to see it. And now I don't even know where you could find it. What else? Streaming-wise, we're watching X-Men 97. We've started some comic-related shows. We just haven't kind of continued with them. There's been a couple shows we started with. Invincible Season 2 we started. The Godzilla show we started. Nobody? No? We didn't start it? You didn't see it because you're a little too young for that. Fallout we have yet to start. We did finish, which my wife surprisingly liked, Twisted Metal. So I recommend checking that out. I played the game back in the day. I didn't have high expectations for the show, but it was definitely a good show. They definitely did a lot to flesh out the game, which, to be honest with you, I didn't even realize had a story. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Is there anything I'm looking forward to in comics? I mean, I haven't been reading Spider-Man. I haven't been reading Ultimate Spider-Man, though. I hear a lot of good things. I'm going to read it digitally. Ultimate X-Men I'm waiting for. I know people, I've been kind of hit or miss about it. Don't use the hammer. Just use your hand. likes to play with his keyboard with a mallet, and I keep telling him no. Yes, I'm talking about you. But trying to think, anything independent I've been reading that I like besides Monstrous. Undiscovered Country, which I think is finally coming to an end soon. I feel like I've been saying that for a while. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. So, 35 minutes, show 100. Like I said, I want to start doing things a little bit differently. If you want to be a guest on 7-Minute Stories, reach out to me through IG. Just send me a DM and we'll work it out. I will be popping up within the next week. Actually, hold on. I'm going to ask my wife something. I'm going to mute you for a second. So just confirmed. Friday, I'll be on Joe from Anachronics Comics channel, 8 p.m. Eastern for an episode of the Comic Book Crowd. Make sure you're following Joe. I think everybody here does at this point. I mean, who am I kidding? But in case you're watching this on the replay and I don't know that you're watching, make sure you follow Joe from Anachronic Comics. Great channel, a lot of interesting information, and he'll give you more information, I would assume, as far as what our topic is going to be and whatnot on Friday, 8 p.m. And then the following day, Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Evil Mike's channel to talk about The Dark Tower. We're on book 4, I believe. Yeah, that sounds like it, right? So it's the second half of book 4. I think it's called The Witch and the Glass, something like that. So I should finish reading that book before then, because that would be helpful. Other than that, look, I still trying to figure out. Yes, thank you for dropping that, Trev. Trev, I don't know how to assign blue wrenches, so you somehow got automatically assigned, but I appreciate you doing that. Unless I figured it out and just forgot, which is completely plausible. So yeah, like I said, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to start doing on my channel on Saturday mornings. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I don't think I'll be moving up to the 10 a.m. slot. Again, just because that's when my son likes to eat. So I'm presuming we'll be here at 11. But subscribe and put your notifications on to, of course, always get the best information. A couple videos coming out this week. Of course, we're going to have an unboxing. Yes, I'm still trying to edit that cooking video I did way back in November at this point. And yeah, I don't know. Just trying to take it easy. But with that, click on our names during the lives. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, no, I know he was talking about it, but I didn't know if he was serious. Okay, I'm clicking on your name. Yeah, I don't know. iPhone doesn't like me to click on your name right now, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, I think that's all I've got right for today. Thanks for coming and checking me out, whether this is your first show watching me or your 100th show. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and make sure, of course, that you participate in the Road to 1K collection giveaway. I got it going right here. See? Oh, yeah. I think I remember us having that conversation, Trev. So I have to do it on YouTube. But I will figure that out. So I have to cut these up and put into the box. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you off the top of my head, I know Brian has a lot of entries. Lisa Babs. David had a few. Trev had a few. 3 Good Nerds. But Joseph Michaels, I think, had more than I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. Enjoy your Saturday. Peace, love, and comics. Take care.